Josh,
Doug.
welcome to the Fit Frequency. Thank you for joining.
You're welcome.
This is Josh Fronduti, a very long-time member of Delaware Fit Factory. Had a lot of ups and downs and everything all around. And today I wanted to ask you about your most recent setback, and not necessarily fitness related. It's kind of just as your body ages, a lot of people have to go through this situation. But I was blown away at your comeback. So before we get into all of that, Josh, who are you?
Well, hey, Doug. I'm Josh Fronduti. I've been going here for, I don't know how many years. 10 years?
Longer than me.
Longer than you. So born in Pennsylvania many years ago. Went to college in Ohio. That got me to Ohio, met my wife, have 3 kids, do video production for a living. So love it here. So, yeah, love Delaware.
Very cool. So how did you – I actually had a chat with another – I guess he's technically back, but another very long-time member with the previous owner, Eric.
Mm-hmm.
When did you start with Delaware Fit Factory, and what made you jump in? What made you try this crazy CrossFit thing?
Well, I remember actually years ago going to see Eric. I walked in, and I wasn't used to the cost per month for CrossFit. I just never heard. I was used to the $10 a month gyms, which people don't go to. And I was like, wow, that's a lot of money. But then I eventually went back and said, you know what, I got to do it, because I just wasn't working out. I was depressed. I was not physical. I wasn't moving around, and I'm like, you know what? I had to get to the point where I needed to recognize that I needed someone to tell me what to do to work out, which is kind of humbling. But I'm like, you know what? This is worth it. I'm going to do it, and it's been years since, and never looked back. So I've loved it. So,
very cool. It is. It's definitely tough, and that goes in like all aspects of life.
Right.
Like, you're not a fitness professional. Like you just said, you're a video and film professional. So it is not something that you should really rely on yourself to be the fitness and exercise expert.
Right.
So leaning on those that are, and then likewise, if I've got an amazing documentary that I want to create, I should not also tack that on to my to-do list of running a business and working out and everything.
Right.
I should reach out to you.
Yeah, and I'm not. Some people are self-motivated, and they could work out at home, and they can do all that stuff. I'm not. I'm like, I look at my past, and I think, well, I haven't done it for the last 20 years. Chances are I'm not going to do it for the next 20 years unless I have someone help me. So yeah, that was my thought process.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So fast forward to 2025.
Yep.
This has been kind of, you've known this was coming for a little while. So give us a rundown of your setback of 2025.
Yeah. Basically, I had my hip was bothering me. Through workouts and stuff, I just noticed that something was kind of hurting in my hip. And I have a chiropractor that I go to, and he actually did some x-rays for me and looked at it and said, you're like bone on bone here. And so went to the doc, got some more x-rays, and they said, yeah, you're a candidate for a total hip replacement. I'm like, what? Like, I'm not old enough for that. And they agreed, but they said, yeah, I mean, it's bone on bone. There's bone spurs and stuff like that, and you need surgery. So I asked my chiropractor about it. I said, why? How could that happen? Like, there wasn't an incident that I'd remembered, But then I remembered, he said it's almost like something just boom, just hit it, And then I remembered back to when I was 2 years old. My mom loves this story because it makes her look so good. When I was 2 years old, my mom was holding me, and I had a temper tantrum. I was having a temper tantrum, and she had just had my brother, so she just gave birth, and I was kicking her in the belly as a 2-year-old having a temper tantrum. And she dropped me. She lowered me as good as she could, and I landed on both my knees and broke my femur. And instantly curled up in a fetal position and fell asleep. And my mom was like, that's not normal. Went to the doctor, broke my femur. And he said that could have been the instigator. My leg's been sore, my whole life, just kind of growing pains and stuff like that. So came time where they needed to do a total hip replacement. So Yeah, that happened in December of last year.
So December, they cut you open,
Mm-hmm.
and I heard you kind of talking about it with Jess up front earlier. They pull the hip out, they saw the bone.
Yeah.
They do what they got to do.
Yeah,
they sew you back
start
up.
to tell me what they're doing. I'm like, no. Just knock me out and do what you need to do.
Yeah.
I always had nightmares of like the power going out in the middle of the surgery. My legs on the other table.
Yeah. Like, is that mine?
Right.
It's like Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've got your physical therapy plan and all of that. How long do we fast forward before you're back in the gym? Total hip replacement in December.
When was I back? I was a couple month or two. I mean, I was back in February, wasn't I?
Yeah, I think it was 6 weeks.
Yeah.
8 weeks.
It wasn't long. I was surprised. Like the first, I mean, they have you walking that day when you have the surgery, which is incredible. But I was on, I was on the walker for a while. But yeah, every day I just felt better and better and better and better. And then, I'm almost fine. I mean, I feel a little bit of numbness and a little bit of, still healing. But I mean, I'm doing jump rope and box jumps and jogs, and it's great.
Yeah. So my father, my dad, he's the maintenance man. He's the guy that everybody will see in here, either just wandering around fixing something or whatever it is. He had a hip replacement, and it was kind of a long process. Lots of physical therapy with the little bands and all of that. And then when he was able to walk around and drive, he would come to the gym and he'd bike for maybe 10 minutes or something. For him, I want to say it was more like a 6-month process.
Oh, wow.
So when you reached out and you were like, hey, I think I'm ready. Can I give it a shot? Yes, absolutely. As long as the doc gives you a thumbs up. So for me, I was incredibly impressed. And I can see some similarities with lots of other, I got to be careful, I don't want to call them setbacks, but like new moms, when they're like, I'm going to be out for so long, and then the doctors are like, you're 6 weeks out, you look great, like go for it if you want. Mm-hmm. Or people that maybe have a shoulder surgery, or something else happens, the doctor requires them to be out of the gym for a little while, and they come back a lot faster than expected. Mm-hmm. Did your doctors mention anything, or do you think having such a good foundation of not just like good health, but like strength in all of the muscles around your hips, like did that help?
Oh yeah. Like when I first went to therapy, I mean, the first couple times were, took some work. It was just like last week when it happened. But then after that, I went through a couple more weeks of therapy, and I'm like, I can do this at home. Like they had me ride the bike or whatever, and I'm like, this is easy. I can totally do this at home. And so I just started going to the gym. It was fine. But like, I would account it to being healthy and being active anyway, And I would talk to the doctor, and he said, yeah, I mean, it just, I would say, what can I do on my leg and stuff like that? And he said, do whatever you could do whatever you want. I mean, if you're going to be a long distance marathon runner, I wouldn't do that, but I wasn't that anyway.
I don't want to do that.
No, I don't want to do
Yeah.
that. So yeah, I mean, so it was weird how, even right now as we're talking, it's been 3 months, and it's crazy that it's only been 3 months, and I feel like 90% normal, with my leg. I can do stretches and things like that I couldn't do before. Before, when I do like reach down to my toes, I had to bend this knee because it was just hurting. Now I can do stretches and stuff like that. So, and every time I come to the gym, I can do a little bit more on that leg, which is really cool. So it's amazing.
Yeah. And so I've just seeing you still able to squat, lift, do kind of like what you said, pretty much whatever you want. And then it is cool to see like when you first came back, you're like, I'm going to try with this really lightweight. And then seeing you put a little bit more on, a little bit more. And then, what was it, 2 days ago, we had a deadlift workout. And you kept it kind of light, knowing that you've got 15 minutes. You got a lot of deadlifts to do.
Yeah.
So it was cool that, you're seeing progress, and now you're also being able to like be smart about things and engage. You know that you're getting stronger. You know the strength that you have, and you also know like I don't want to overdo it. So like you're able to find, we can see a nice happy balance, and self-regulation at times, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
What about outside of the gym? Have you had any, have you had to lug tons of equipment in and out of a set? You know, are you finding it easier to do now with your bionic hip? Or
Oh yeah, like a couple weeks ago I was in California doing a shoot at a conference center, and we tracked our miles or our steps, and we'd walk like 7 miles a day in that building getting content, and my leg was fine, and it's crazy, so I feel great. It's awesome, carrying the camera around, positioning. I mean, you're literally moving all day, and it was great. So no problems whatsoever.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Let's segue a little bit. You kind of sparked an idea. Normally I have some like rapid fire questions, like what's your favorite CrossFit movement? What do you hate? What do you love? And then we try to make them do it the next week. So I talk a lot with our seniors class. Or at least I used to. When I coached it a lot, almost every day. Here's how this is going to translate to everyday life. So if we're doing farmer carries, like this, you're going to carry groceries from the store to your car. So that's why we're doing farmer carries. What are some things that you can see are kind of like a 1-to-1? Like this is almost a perfect match to what I do in the gym. So you mentioned like carrying a camera around. Is there anything else?
Well, yeah. First, carrying a camera. I mean, I literally do that. Trying to think of something else that I do.
I know that you don't do little like handheld camera stuff. Like you got stuff on your shoulder.
Yeah,
right?
it's either here, I'm carrying it here, or I'm just carrying it with my hands back and forth. And it's a relatively heavy camera, I had one client actually. She was so impressed because she was like, "Dude, you held that camera all day, and you were." I impressed her. She's like, "You're awesome." Like. And I was moving around. I'm like, this is why I work out, so I can do this, Because when you're running and gunning with a camera, you got to be strong, So it's pretty fun. It's pretty cool to do that, yeah.
I will say that was something that I never got. Josh knows. You might not know. Previous life in photography and video, never got to like being on big sets or anything. But I was always kind of like amazed that. There's a lot of out of shape people in this, like not able to carry around a camera in that situation. I remember vividly being at the very first Rogue Invitational down at Rogue headquarters in Columbus, and I'm running here, there, and everywhere. They've got me literally like taking peanut butter and jelly sandwiches to people in the booth, and then I'm grabbing a camera or some equipment to run out onto the field and that kind of stuff. And then there's a lot of people that are like, they're sitting in their chair, they're moving the camera on the tripod. Like that's the extent of their fitness. Just wild. So it doesn't surprise me if you're blowing people's minds with your fitness level.
Well, it's so fun too because you want to be creative and your body can do what your mind wants you to do. Like so sometimes I'll have to do a half squat with a camera to get a certain angle, or a full squat, or up and down. Like. To do a squat while I'm shooting, and it's fun because I'm like, my body can do this, and it's like, or to run with the camera, it's pretty cool, And
that's why they pay you the big bucks.
Yeah.
Anything that sometimes you're like, have you ever had to overhead squat a camera setup? Or ever had to do a rope climb?
A rope climb with a camera?
On a camera set.
Well, I've had to climb ladders with one hand with a camera. I had to do that last weekend, where you have a camera in one hand, and I was climbing a truck, a grain truck, and you just do one hand, with a camera in the other. I've had to climb silos before with one hand,
That sounds terrifying.
Oh, it's awful. I'm scared of heights too.
Yeah.
So.
That is sometimes we get into the weeds with like some of the stuff that we do. So for example, rope climbs or some of our Olympic weightlifting. People are like, if this is functional fitness, when in the world am I going to do this? But they're like, you kind of have to dig a little bit.
Yeah.
But you can definitely make connections.
Yep.
I once told somebody like, you never know in the future you might get into kayaking and then you have to like squat snatch your kayak and then throw it up on the top of your car, and they're like, that's a stretch.
Oh, I've had to. I was I was kayaking a couple summers ago, and I was by myself, and I had to pee really bad, and you're in the water, and there's no bank to park the kayak. And so I literally had to get out of the kayak, have one hand on a trunk, or one leg on a trunk, the other leg in the kayak, did my thing. But then after I was done, I flipped the kayak. I fell into the water. And so I was literally waist deep with the kayak full of water, and I had to figure out how to get back in my kayak. So I literally had to, I don't know what movement this would be, but I had to take the kayak and dump it all over myself, the water, to drain it, and then put it back up, and then get back in the kayak. And it was like, that was really fun. I mean, I did it.
This sounds like a sandbag clean, followed by a burpee box jump over. I mean,
it was like, it was cool because I'm like, I did it. I'm like, okay, I have to figure this out. I'm by myself. I'm in the middle of a river, and it was really fun, you know?
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Yikes.
I think about that a lot. It's fun to do that.
You're definitely using your functional fitness.
Yep.
All over the place.
Yeah.
And it's definitely helped you with your comeback.
Yeah.
I'll give them to you. I'll give you the rapid fire questions. Okay. What is your least favorite movement that we do in CrossFit?
Wall balls.
You had that ready to go. What
First time I did wall balls, I'm like, my body was like, what the heck are you doing to me? Because it's like 5 movements in one, you know, and as soon as you take a break, it gets worse.
Yes.
When you stop it, you feel worse.
And I think it's one of those that it's a squat and it's a throw and it's catch and all of that. Doing it once is fine. It's kind of like burpees. Getting down and getting up once is fine. Mm-hmm. But we're going to do a lot of them.
You do 100 of them.
Yeah.
There is a workout with 100 of them.
150.
150.
Or Bill, who claims he will never do that again. He will do 149 and then leave.
Oh, that's awful.
What's your favorite CrossFit movement?
I like the stuff I like sit-ups and push-ups, like stuff without weights, like the body weight. So I'd say sit-ups, you know. I like sit-ups.
Okay.
It's just, you don't have to focus as much on the form as with weights, so you can just kind of crank at it, and it's, you know, body weight. I like body weight stuff.
Okay. If you think about our cardio machines, we've got
Mm-hmm.
the runner or running outside, bike, row, ski. Which is your favorite there?
Oh, row, for sure.
Least favorite?
Running.
Okay.
If running was...
You dislike running more than the bike. I almost said which is your least favorite. You can't say the bike, but...
I love the rowing is great because, like, for someone that's taller, like me, like I'm 6 foot, so you just get
You're a very good rower.
Calorie pull thing. Running is my least favorite. The first 20 yards of running is amazing. To me, it's like
a wall ball.
It's a beautiful day outside.
Right out of the gate, it's
after
easy.
20 yards, it's like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah.
So
very cool. So, what is it? April.
Yeah.
We're through the first quarter. Do you have any goals for 2026? It could be in the gym. It could be outside of the gym. Mm-hmm. Anything you're looking forward to, or anything that's on the horizon for you?
Honestly, my goal is and I tell this to new gym people that are just joining the gym. My goal is to just show up. If I show up, I'll do a workout, and I'll feel better. Like, I know that I've told you this before. I wrestle with depression. I heard a stat today actually that said working out reduces depression by 20 to 30%. You know, and for me, when I go to the gym, like the other day, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to the gym because I'm going to fight this depression. I'm going to be healthy because I'm not my own. I'm a husband. I'm a father. You know, I affect other people, and I want to be in good health. I want to be in good state of mind. So that's my goal is always to just show up. You know, whether I lift more, that's great, you know, but I want to, if I just show up, I will get better. So that's my goal.
I love that. That's something that we try to, you know, from time to time, it kind of, it can be intimidating for new people, and same kind of thing. I just tell people, like, consistency. Let's maybe try for a couple weeks without logging workouts, or don't reserve a week of classes and then don't look at it until next Sunday, because, you know, showing up, consistency, that's always going to be what leads to success. Now, can we measure success and maybe see a little more or less based on percentages and whatnot? Yes. But if you're not showing up and doing, you know, putting in effort consistently, then we're absolutely not going to hit any of those goals. I I love that perspective. Anything that you would say to, a member who's maybe even just afraid to make, or not a member yet, anybody that's like on the fence, they know they need to make a change, for example, like doctor said, I got to do something for my health, or, for me, like my first kiddo, she was on the way and I was like, I got to do something, but just scared, hesitant. What would you say to them?
Well, first of all, I mean, the money might be intimidating for some people because it's more than your average, regular gym. But for me, I think of it like I make more money in my work because I go to the gym. First of all, your health is worth way much more. Like what's the price of your health, right? But I would tell them the money's worth it because of your health. Secondly, if you have a friend to go with, that's really nice. Because you just got to get your butt to the gym. You just got to get there. As soon as you cross the door, you don't have to do anything, in a sense. You just do the workout. When they say go, you just go. You don't have to think, right? So that's what. And I also tell people, don't max out the first few times you come because you want it to be fun. You don't want to get sick or something and have bad memories of, man, I'm not doing that again. Just like scale it, do whatever you need to do. Just get there, and coming with a friend is good too. So, yeah.
Yeah. I told somebody earlier today, the goal is to leave here and knowing that you can finish your day, whether that's going back to the office or gardening at home or getting the kids to all their sports and whatnot, and still having the energy to come back tomorrow.
Yep.
Yeah. We don't want to get buried or anything like that. Now, do we have some young guns or even myself from time to time, like it becomes a sport? Yes, cool, we can go real hard. Also need to be mindful when that's not really the purpose for many of us, to just come, sweat, get a little bit better every day and just be consistent with it.
Yeah, it's fun to do both. Like sometimes, I can't remember the girl's name. She used to come here and we used to do sit-ups. We used to go back and forth so you can do faster sit-ups and stuff. It's fun to race and things like that. And yeah, and so eventually you can get to that point where you can like, hey, this is my thing. Like you'll recognize you have your thing. Like mine is, the pulling the rower. I love that thing. I mean, Eric used to be like, dude, I'd beat Eric on the thing.
Yeah, it's wild seeing you row.
So
yeah,
that was my thing. So yeah, it's fun to figure those things out. And then after the workout, you're like, man, I did that, and that's awesome. You feel proud of yourself. So yeah,
cool. With that, we'll end the episode. If you listeners got some value out of this, please be sure to share it with a friend. And if you got any requests or you want to send us something, you can find us on Instagram and Facebook at Delaware Fit Factory. There's also, I always forget this, there is an Instagram handle for the podcast. I think it is the Fit Frequency Podcast with some underscores in there. Clay Media Group, if anybody needs some fancy film production.
Yeah, claymediagroup.com.
Very cool. Josh, thank you. We'll catch you guys in the next one.